Hello, I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC and team member of Gold Lactation Online Conference 2013. I'm here today with Ellen Kamman, and she will be speaking on the subject Breastfeeding Culture in South Africa. Hi, Ellen, how are you doing today? I'm very excited to hear your topic, and we've just been training today with you, and I got to hear a little snippet, so I'm very excited to hear all about your nation. But what I'd like to know is how did you become interested in the topic of South Africa, a breastfeeding nation?
Hi Fiona. I basically moved to South Africa in 1997 from the Netherlands, and at that point in time, I was busy with career and work, and not so much interested in children. I had my first child in 2000, and I started breastfeeding, and by doing so, started learning more about the cultural differences in South Africa, and I found the topic quite interesting. In 2008, I became a La Leche League leader. And then I became an IBCLC, and obviously during the process of doing both those things, I learned a lot more about the South African people and how breastfeeding works in South Africa. And as a researcher, I also have access to a lot more data sets, and I can sort of have a look at the breastfeeding culture in South Africa.
Wow, well, thanks for that, Ellen. Sounds like it's been quite a journey for you as a mother and as a researcher. That's a great combination when you're an IBCLC. I would also like to ask you, for our listeners out there and our delegates who will be joining us, what will a lactation consultant learn from this presentation?
I would like to take the people that are coming to listen to the presentation through a bit of South African history so that they have a bit of an idea of what South Africa looks like, what the population looks like, how the people live in South Africa, and also talk a little bit about the history of breastfeeding in South Africa and what people are looking at when they breastfeed and what the Minister of Health has recently done in South Africa and how the culture of breastfeeding is changing. Obviously, HIV comes into the picture big time in South Africa, and that is one of the topics I'll be touching on. And also what mothers feel, how South Africa looks at breastfeeding mothers.
Well, that sounds great. I'm very interested to hear about what's going on in South Africa. You know, in my practice, sometimes I can become very narrow-minded in my own little world of what's going on, but it really is inspiring to hear what is happening in other countries and hear what other IBCLCs are working towards with their communities and with their governments. Well, thank you again. I'm really looking forward to your presentation. And for our delegates out there, you can hear Ellen Kamman's um, presentation, Breastfeeding Culture in South Africa. Her full presentation will be on May 7th. And you can find out more information about the Gold Lactation Online Conference and about all of our other speakers, times, and dates at www.goldlactation.com. Thank you again for joining us. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC and team member of Gold Lactation Online Conference 2013.